return to form for a lot of these players, but they also have the young blood coming in. Paso, who's been incredibly impressive in the early stages of the season on that main tank, probably their star player. And as we can see here, they are going for some DPS compositions. Warriors very proficient on this DPS composition on this point particularly, something they've practiced a lot over a lot of different rosters. And let's see how the Atletico's DPS players match up versus the might of Warriors.
Well, two very accomplished Pharah players, although I think you'd have to give it to Roro in that department as being slightly stronger. We'll see whether or not Wubo is going to have anything to say about that one. Does hit the first connection. You can see even a bit of a difference in the style of the two Pharahs here, with Wubo trying to throw a few shots in the direction of Roro, whereas Roro is more focused on the ground targets, neither really having too much success as of yet. The aerial battle continues, but now it's back to focusing on the ground-based targets as both the Wrecking Balls get low. Noz will find himself being the first pick as he cops the Sonic Arrow from D-Field.
Yeah, but Huss is really preventing Paso from doing anything on this Wrecking Ball so far. He's been all over him. And it's just interesting to see the different styles of this Sombra play. One passive, one very aggressive.
Huss has managed to help Roro in finding the pick onto D-Field, but consequently Roro will fall down to his counterpart in the sky, and now Wubo, well, he's not really in the sky anymore, is he? He's just asleep on the ground. That's not where you want to be at all as a Pharah. Very backwards and forwards fight this one. In fact, I think there's probably still a story left to be told, particularly if Quad J decides to invest this EMP, which he will. It only hits a couple of the Warriors players, however, not the ideal ultimate usage, I don't think, from him there. And all of a sudden, that seems to spell some problems for Athletico. Warriors finally start to clean house.
Yeah, the return of the Roro Tracer plus Noz, the Noz Tracer and Roro getting rezzed by Jungle Jazz meant that this fight swung in the favor of the Warriors very quickly. It was interesting to see. Rubo has been focusing these air battles he's been focusing on the air battles instead of the ground war. And you can see in the ult charge difference, that's going to come into effect with Rubo not having that barrage yet. Roro ready to drop it right on that EMP.
Rubo does got one to his face. The trouble as well is for Wubo, if Roro gets close enough, the Rocket Barrage can be used against the aerial target. We saw it actually at MEO, I think, last year. Termo.
Oh, Quad J, getting taken down by Tongue in his sleep. He's already hit one on the Pharah, now one on the Sombra. He's on fire tonight.
Will drop Noz though, so bit of a trade back. Paso off the map by the looks of things. It'll be a reset here from Athletico. They're not really being able to get too much success. You know, you're seeing some picks here and there, but as a general rule, it's a lot more comfortable at this point for Warriors. Huss with an EMP. We're up past 54% now for them.
Yeah, they've got everything they could ever want. The 6 ult push this fight. Seeing how they're going to manage these ultimates, though, it looks like Huss is looking for this pharmacy. He really wants to drop them to the ground so they're nice and vulnerable to his Wrecking Ball.
Oh dearie me, Goobs, there's nothing to help him out at all. Huss actually, he's getting pressured off, and Wubo has managed to find 2. The res comes across though onto Roro. In the meanwhile, Noz is doing exactly as he has done throughout this entire round so far, and that is doing a lot of damage with the Tracer. Now Roro, with his own Rocket Barrage, is going to have even more success than what Wubo was able to present for us. And it was a situation that looked bad for Warriors, and then all of a sudden it turns around.
I believe that was Tongue that set up another sleep onto Wuvo too. He gets the nano boost, Tongue puts him to sleep, and then Noz just comes and drops a pulse bomb in his back pocket. And another sleep, another kill, another fight win. Tongue is definitely the MVP so far, and he does go down early in this fight. How will Warriors respond? It seems like Noz just going mental on the point, clearing it out.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage at this point. I don't know how many pulse bombs he's managed to charge up, but this will be like the 4th or the 5th, I feel like, for this round on Village, and we're at 100-0 essentially, so it's not like he's had an ample amount of time really to charge it up. Straight into the Primal Raging, which puts him right back to 500 HP, and an easy cleanup then for Warriors. And Noz also, incidentally, gets the final kill onto Goo, so that'll be round 1 going the way of the New Zealand squad. Atletico with some thinking to do, I think, here.
Noz looked like he was having a lot of fun that round on the Tracer. He looked unchecked. I mean, he went down early in the rollout fight, but apart from that, he looked like he was just having a ball. Maybe Athletico forgot about him. Maybe D-Field needs to, chase him around a bit, scare him off. But at the moment, Noz and Tongue are playing so well for this side of the Warriors. They're really shutting down the enemy DPS players. Defield onto the Widowmaker. We have saw this in week 1 on Dorado, and he was very, very sharp. So I think this could be something that, you know, changes Roro's opinion on playing Pharah on this map if Defield can get into a good position and, you know, get to click some heads.
Well, that's a big if though as well. I know Defield has been fairly consistent with that Widowmaker, but it is the kind of hero that can either work or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure coming out from the side of the Warriors. As soon as they identify this Widowmaker pick, they'll send us, they'll send Modern, and again, yeah, the hack onto Modern will open up the fight, and this will be an early advantage for Athletico.
Us to do about it. Slick Duck goes flying past his head, just decides to translocate out, not willing to give up any more ground. There's going to be a contest in time from Warriors. I don't know how quickly Modern is going to be able to get back, but he is on Wrecking Ball, so it shouldn't take him too long at all. Defield actually does manage to just clip Huss there. That's a nice shot from him. We're going to try and put some pressure in onto Defield. Somehow connects the shot onto Goobs in the meanwhile, and Modern has again managed to find his counterpart Pasto. The revive comes across onto Huss, so Warriors are looking almost at full strength, minus Noz. That again is a nice hack onto Huss, but is there going to be a follow-up here from Athletico? Unfortunately, does not look like it. Defield was able to get one pick in that fight, but just doesn't seem to be having the impact that he needs on that Widowmaker to really justify the pick. Modern charging on forward now with that Wrecking Ball, nearly charging up the minefield, in fact. Everyone's dying all across the board, and this is just a crazy fight indeed. Pulse Bomb's going to go through, but it's Modern to finish off Paso, and Warriors inevitably with the team to get the first capture. Athletico backing off and letting this one reset, though that pick onto Huss maybe opens the door a little bit.
Yeah, we see the trading back and forth as we expect. Roro's now swapped off the Pharah onto a Widowmaker of his own. He did a really good job there.
The hack!
Oh, the hack in the middle of the air. You don't like to be stranded up there if you're a Wrecking Ball. So far, Quad J has been on the money with these hacks.
Yeah, I think there was an EMP going across there as well. No, maybe not. Oh, it was actually Quad J's. I don't know who it even hit. Perhaps no one. Didn't see anything. Regardless, it hasn't worked out at all for Athletico. Roro has picked off Design. Jungle managing to grab Tongue back from the grave. And now Wubo collects himself an Anno Boost, which is going to follow up with a Rocket Barrage, only to the success of finding a kill onto Modern. Perhaps being able to chase down Tongue here. Needs one more rocket, but will be finished off by Huss, who manages to save his supports from a bit of a headache. And in the meanwhile, the percentage still continues to tick on up for Warriors.
Yeah, they're just not nailing these last few kills. The side of the Warriors are using the point very well to line of sight Wuvo, line of sight Defield, so they're just maintaining this point, and really you need to capture the point. It doesn't matter how many people you kill, you need to capture the point.
Yeah, it's not a deathmatch game, unfortunately. Jungle's been pretty solid in terms of getting these reses across. Seems like every time someone goes down for Warriors, they go straight back up. Return from the grave.
Very efficient use of the EMP there from Huss, catching a lot of members out, a lot of key members out, and that will seal the win of that fight for the Warriors. And now only one fight territory, Paso with the only ultimate. Wuvo swaps over to the Tracer, Design swaps over to the Lucios, you know, these mobile heroes to get back to the point and try and muster a good fight. But I don't know, they've got really nothing in here. They're just the nano boost from Goobs. It'll be interesting to see who puts him on. Ooh, Roro sees Quad J on the Sombra and
sees everybody
out.
Wuvo and Tracer also needs to be a little bit careful of where he's putting his head. Noz with a Pulse Bomb ready and waiting. Just going to have to back away for the moment, but there is certainly time to be played with here for Warriors. They're not under too much pressure at all. Pulse Bomb just goes a little awry and Wuvo smacks him in the back of the head. Stitch that, he says, but it is a one-for-one trade as Quad J will fall as well. Not a player that you want to see go down, particularly when EMP is available for Quad J, although I guess at this point it's really not anymore. The flip has come across, though, for Athletico, so that buys a little bit more time. That at least gives Athletico a chance in here. And it does mean also that they're not going to get essentially 200-0 on Nepal.
No, and they've got the EMP to set up next fight, so if they can get a good connection here, maybe stop this. Okay, he comes out. Quad J gets actually EMP'd himself, so he can't get his own off. That's a good play from Huss. He's identified who has the ultimates, and he's shut him down. Roro clicking heads, kills Wuvo, but Huss on the return goes to the grave.
Now overtime starting now as well, as Warriors have flicked back across to themselves the point. Goobs will try and get there, but I don't think he'll manage to make it, and neither will anybody else. It's a 2-0 for Warriors to start off the day, and a really solid 2-0 as well. As far as I remember, Athletico didn't manage to get any ticks on Village at all.
No, I don't think
and
they did.
They very nearly almost didn't either again, so it could have been almost 200-0, like I said, which would have not really been the way you wanted to start, even despite the fact that you would never want to start as a 0-2 loss. at least they got something, right?
No, it was quite interesting to see that Athletico actually want to match the DPS compositions versus the Warriors. The Warriors, we probably, coming into the start of the season, we thought, you know, this is a really strong roster. Their DPS players are still DPS players. You know, they've played DPS in previous seasons of Contenders, and they've kept sharp and current. And now with the addition of Noz pulling out the Tracer, that just makes this roster even scarier. Huss is quite a good Sombra player, has been a good Sombra player for a long time. Probably a little bit better than Noz at the Sombra, but yeah, there's that sleep on the nano-boosted Pharah. Tung on that village point was an absolute menace, and it took so much just to get rid of him once, and then as soon as he went down, Jungle Jazz hits the revive, and Raid Boss activated again.
Yeah, such an obnoxious team to kind of fight against that setup from Warriors. With a triple DPS, you sort of never really feel safe anywhere because, you know, if you're inside in a building, okay, well, there's going to be a Tracer with a Pulse Bomb available. If you're outside, the Pharah's going to be flying around above you, and who knows where the Sombra is then in that equation as well. So it's like anywhere that you go or anywhere that you're trying to focus on, there's going to be someone at your back or your side trying to put some damage into you. And then I guess you've got Modern on the Wrecking Ball as well, which is just another kettle of fish. So if Warriors can make that work, then credit to them. But I just want to make sure that if they do inevitably get through to the season finals, what they are using during the season and what's working during the season is what we get to see at the season finals, please.
Yeah, last season they did change it up at the last minute, and it really didn't pull off for them. But I think they've learned from their mistake there. But I want to say Roro played very well on the not the Sanctum, the Shrine point on the Pharah. Even though he identified the Widowmaker was there and it was a threat, an early point, he played the high angles and really wasted the Widowmaker's time. Now that Widowmaker, he's there to counter the Pharah, and if he doesn't counter the Pharah, he's wasting time, and he's getting all these support resources, and they're just, you know, it's just not ending up well for them. And then as soon as Roro hit the one direct, he just flies in on top, swoops in on top, and finishes poor D-Field off.
What did you think about the Sombra play as well on the side of Athletico?
Looked a bit lost. Kojay was getting outplayed by Huss pretty consistently, which is unfortunate. Kojay, quite a versatile player, obviously brought out the Mei in previous weeks. It's not something that I identify with him, I guess. Maybe he just needs a bit more time, but you are going against one of the better Sombra players in the region, and that Sombra v Sombra matchup inside a match can get pretty messy sometimes. So maybe he needs to mark Huss more, or
perhaps
communicate with his team.
This map in particular is one that we saw between Athletico and Order, and this is where we saw that Mei kind of really wreak havoc with the Order composition. So for Athletico, maybe that is something that they want to go back onto, the Clockwork Vendetta with the Mei, with the Orisa, with the Torbjorn.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, why fix it, I say. So, I mean, show that, like, make them beat it. Don't try and beat yourself by swapping composition all the time and stuff. Make them beat this composition if you've already had good success on it. They are going to go in for what looks to be a Junkrat version of it. So there's no Mei this time for Quad J. He's chosen the Sombra, so maybe that's something they've been practicing during the week, and they think that, you know, this matchup, we can shut down Modern using this Sombra player, then we can have a good time versus the Warriors. Give Paso the easier time in the tank matchup.
It does kind of worry me though a little bit, seeing this kind of composition for Athletico, knowing that Warriors is liable to use the Pharah. Like, I know there's obviously a Widowmaker in the picture there, but didn't manage to really shut down Roro too much, I thought, on Nepal. Obviously Roro swapped off, so maybe you could make the argument that it did. But I feel as though if D-Field's not really having the impact onto Roro, he's going to be able to run free, essentially, here.
I think Roro will see this and maybe even bring out the Genji. It's quite decent for Genji into this composition. Sombra gives him a bit of trouble, but we've seen Roro with Dragon Blades in the past do well.
Oh, yes, we have. Well, it is going to be perhaps even a mass exodus of Warriors, as they're all changing their heroes up.
There he is on the Genji.
So it's just going to go back to sort of the standard dive composition that you might be used to from seasons past, although I guess replacing the Sombra with was the Tracer.
Yeah, and they're just going to be looking to poke up for ultimates here. Really, you want to get the EMP online, you want to get the Nano Blade online, and that's when you want to be expecting to win fights. Modern actually getting hacked early and going down. Trap triggered once more. I think that might have been a suck into a trap, but he also got hacked, so a lot of pressure onto Modern early.
Wuvo's up to 75% of the Riptire already. That's going to be 81 now as he finishes off Noz.
And short of Tung, they don't really have anything to deal with it. Noz can try and fly into the Riptire and take it out, because if you hit the mech at full HP, it's not enough damage to kill it. So I think that's the best way to deal with this Riptire if you're the Warriors, but it can be quite difficult to do. Roro's managed to find himself in a flank position with Huss here, though, so maybe if they can get a quick connection onto one of these Widowmakers or Anas, it could be quite messy for the side of Atletico.
Comes the Riptire.
Is Noz going to be able to headbutt it?
I know that Wubo's going to get a whole lot here. He's spotted a couple out, but finally gets Roro. Searching for quite a while.
Goobs ends up taking him out, so
I might need this later.
Riptire didn't get anything done. It was Goobs' sharpshooter.
Well, I don't know what happened there. But anyway, here comes the halt.
It's more time off the clock though, and that's what you want if you're Athletico. You're playing for time, you're playing to get this EMP up, you're playing to this supercharger, and just getting these pickoffs as well.
Yeah, Modern really struggling to build Primal Rage as well. He's at only 47% after this is now what, like, I guess it hasn't even been a second fight, but there's been a lot of time that's gone past, and he hasn't really been able to do a whole lot in terms of building it up, and I guess that's why. You jump in, you get halted, you get slept, but does get woken up straight away, and might still be able to use the back end of I was going to say the back end of the Nano boost, but that is going to go much the same way that the initial engagement went for Warriors, in that they just get absolutely wrecked by Athletico. So, any thoughts of May or anything like that, it doesn't matter so much. Roro straight onto the trap, and
he activated Wuvo's trap card there. It was a lot of ults that did come out from the side of Athletico. You know, 2 on the side of the Warriors, so they have desynced the Nano and the Blade though, which is a problem. Also no EMP, so this is looking really dangerous for them. If Quad J can get a nice EMP off here and they can build this next tire, this could be a full hold. Roro's Dragon Blade needs to come up big here.
Exactly, that's what you said about when they did swap off onto the Genji, that you're looking at the ultimates to come online. That's when Warriors are going to be able to push on through, and this is the fight where they are starting to come online. But you've also mentioned that Quad J has the EMP, so
Quad J can shut everything down here with a nice EMP onto Roro. Modern does have the Primal Rage, but very susceptible to a trap when you're in that.
Oops is going to die, that's for sure. There's no one helping him out there at all. Quad J does throw the EMP out, but it's only connected onto Modern by the looks of things. Riptire's going to get one, but it's not enough. Modern doesn't even have to invest the Primal Rage just yet, so this fight still has some legs in it for Warriors, but if Jungle goes down, that could be dangerous. Modern diving on top of Design and should be able to get this frag. No one is really being able to peel at all. It's again just an unfortunate situation for Athletico where they tried so hard, they worked so hard, but come crunch time, Warriors a little bit better.
Yeah, Goobs getting isolated there is pretty unfortunate for the side of Athletico. He really needed to be with these supports, with his Junkrat to protect him against that blading Genji. The snowball opportunity here for the Warriors is quite big too, as Athletico have to swap a lot of heroes away.
EMP available shortly for Huss. It's up to 80%.
Gets very scared of that Brigitte there. Don't want to get caught getting stunned in front of an Orisa. Orisa does a deceptive amount of damage. She's been one of these heroes that's been consistently buffed, consistently damage buffed, and now she's at the point where she's a mini Bastion. Oh, not even a mini Bastion. She's a big Bastion, I guess. Yeah. She does a lot of damage. If you get a string of headshots on that hero, you find yourself in the graveyard pretty quick.
Well, what can Athletico do? 3.5 minutes. It's not impossible actually to hold point B on Paris for that long.
Passo's finding himself in an interesting position.
Yeah, he's going to pop the Fortifier. Did see a external bubble go onto him as well, but it's not going to be enough to keep Passo alive. And now we see Goobs isolated as well by Modern with the Primal Range as he jumps on forward and now dives back onto the point to put some more pressure onto Wubo, who will be able to get into the safety of his spawn room at all. Modern doing a great job with the Primal Rage. And this fight is looking perhaps over before it really has begun. Athletico haven't really been able to pose any defense on point B at all. Just going to continue to trickle on and try and stall out as long as they can, but that's a very solid take from Warriors.
Yeah, first point was looking messy for the Warriors, and I mean, they could have been in a sticky situation if that EMP from Quad J was a little better, or maybe their positioning was a little better, so it was a little unfortunate that they did get snowballed so heavily. 2 minutes 52 in the clock for the Warriors. They'll be nervous about their first attack though. They really messed some stuff up. Not syncing the EMP and the Blade very well, not syncing the Nano and the Blade very well, but it didn't end up punishing them in the long term, so they've escaped one there. Now it's going to be interesting to see what Athletico attack with. They've shown not a lot of DPS heroes. No, they haven't shown that they can bust the bunker really in previous weeks, so I'm assuming they're just going to run a 3-3 variant or a 3-2-1 variant, but I don't know. The Warriors could bring out a bunker cop here, throw a spanner in the works.
I don't feel as though that would be a huge surprise though for Athletico. It's been something that Warriors have played here and there, so Athletico should well be aware of it. Got a bit more of the DPS kind of a setup from Athletico. So you're going to be leaning a lot onto Quad J with the EMP here to break the combo. Yeah, break the setup of Warriors.
Yeah, Athletico need to combo their ult very well too into this. They do have the no mercy on the side of the Warriors. They are running the Baptiste and the Ana, so they're just going for that throughput, really. So any picks you can get off, they're going to stay dead. Especially if you trade for that Bastion early, it means the Bastion has to swap to a different hero, something more mobile to get back to the point. So Athletic could just even rush this Bastion in the first fight. If they get him down, then that's pretty much the bunker comp ruined.
It's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of friends there, the Bastion, a lot of resources to help him survive.
Oh, Wubo's going to get the information there, that is for sure.
Yeah, Roro wants to hold on these stairs, give himself the best sight lines possible. Modern, not so keen.
Either way, they've gone with Roro's decision. Time to back away into more relative safety. That's ambitious perhaps from Passo, but hasn't actually died just yet. I think Quad J got hacked up in all of that and will be finished off. Not at all what you want as Sombra player. Modern continues to jump on board with that Winston, but Roro does fall. And that was, as you said, mission number 1 for Athletico in terms of breaking this setup. Now Tung goes down as well, and that means player advantage quite substantially the way of Athletico. Not for too long, however, as another trade does come back from Warriors. This time it's Noz, Wuvo down, and Rez available. Not a safe position at all for Design. Huss doing a reasonable job of building this EMP up as well. 72%. He'll get close to 100 before this next fight does eventuate.
He's been moving around very well on this Sombra, and he shows the experience. He was waiting for Quad J to come out of stealth, waiting for Quad J to try and do anything in that first fight, and Huss was straight onto him, hacks him, kills him. Very well done from Huss, who now has the EMP.
Yeah, you can see the discrepancy in the EMPs. Double for Huss what Quad J had when I was starting that sentence. Now built up a little bit, and the Rocket Barrage comes through, but a great sleep dart. I think that was from Tung.
Act and slept, Tung and Huss, making sure that he gets nothing with that Rocket Barrage and that Nano Boost. And that's not the first time this happened this series. Tung has been on the money. As soon as any danger comes to him, he puts it to sleep.
I was going to say, it's not the first time that we've seen that happen this season at all for Tung, especially on Paris. Remember, he got the sleep dart last week, or perhaps it was the week before, onto the
Genji,
Nano Blading Genji. So it seems to be a bit of a repeat offender.
It's a very, very talented Ana player, Tung. Played it for a very, very long time. So now they are swapping off to this 3-2-1. Quad J with the EMP coming through soon, but it won't be soon enough as they run into the amplification matrix of the Baptiste and get melted. Roro swapped over to that Doomfist and played immediate dividends.
Yeah, I was going to say, Roro with the Doomfist pick, we do like to see that as well. Quite an interesting character to watch.
Roro just flexing his enormous hero pool at the moment. He's played a bit of Pharah, a bit of Genji, a bit of Widow, a bit of Doomfist. Brigitte, yeah, what else is he going to try and bring out for us today?
I'm sure there's something left in the back pocket.
I don't think he will play anything else really. I think, maybe he might play Torb or something later. That'd be a bit of a special treat.
Would be indeed. Right now I'm pretty happy with how things are going for Warriors, as I'm sure they are fairly happy as well. There's time for one more fights here for Athletico. Focusing again on Quad J's EMP for this next coming one. So far, I have to say, I'm not as impressed with Quad J's Sombra play as I was with the mate out of him.
Oh, bumps. Two ships in the night pass each other, and here we go. The EMP comes out from Huss again. He catches Quad J, and Quad J is being focused down very, very quickly.
Yep. It just seems to be a sense of deja vu here for Athletico. I suppose the one saving grace is that they will have an EMP to use in this final coming fight, but is he going to get it off? And if he does get it off, is he going to get a good one off?
Yeah, it's been struggle street all night long so far for Quad J in this Huss vs Quad J matchup for this Sombra. He's had his number every step. But now, this is their best opportunity. They have the Nano Boost, they have the EMP. If he can isolate Modern before that Primal Rage goes off, it could be pretty dangerous. They'll get a nice advantage there.
So much pick potential though for Warriors, especially with Roro on that Doomfist, dancing around, waiting for some opponents. Modern flying forward as well. Quad J's on the point, he's going to be able to contest. There's a couple of teammates there, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Roro gets scoops before the fight even starts, and you're immediately in a 5v6. Sure, EMP's going to come out, but it only collects Modern and Roro. And as far as I'm concerned, that is not going to be enough right now for Athletico. Passo's got himself with a Primal Rage out there, but
oh
me,
no!
Roro, what have you done? Doesn't matter really at this point. Modern gives him a salute off the edge. Warriors are up 2-0, and this series is looking disastrous for Athletico.
Oh, a clowny moment at the end there as Roro finds himself in the canals of Paris, but that was a very clean victory for them. You know, they even had to adjust their composition once Roro went down on that bastion, but they managed to come back pretty quickly and sort themselves out. Huss, star player so far, Hassan and Tung have been all over this Athletico roster.
I think Roro was just looking for his boat.
Yeah, you probably could. Bro, that was awful. That was awful. You can keep one to yourself next time, mate. That was shocking.
Anyway, well, I'll tell you what wasn't shocking. So far, it's been how Warriors have played out this series. Any sort of thoughts of, okay, maybe this is going to be a close one. Maybe Warriors can put us into a four-way tie for first place. You might as well just throw that out the window at this point. I think it's looking fair to say that now this series probably looks like a 4-0 on paper.
Yeah, I mean, the Atletico look pretty defeated, but I mean, at the start of, well, at the halfway point of this Paris map, I thought, hey, Atletico are a little bit of a chance here. If they can get a nice attack on first, then they can snowball through just like the Warriors did. But the Warriors just showing their class. Their individual talent on this roster is insane. I mean, they looked the best this far this season. Like, they've looked the strongest team far and away this season, I should say. Roro flexing the Doomfist as well. Maybe you can move into this Sombra Doomfist composition that a few teams overseas have been playing.
Well, not only overseas, but even here, obviously Legacy have tried to use that a couple of times to some reasonable degrees of success, I will say. And I think it's actually quite an enjoyable team composition to watch. You know, you get those kind of flashy plays out from the Doomfist. You get the good solid team fights out of the likes of the EMP coming through from Sombra, obviously with the dive coming in from the Winston in there as well. It's kind of got it all in a way. So I'll be interested to see if Warriors are going to continue to use that. Kings Row Dorado to come. I just don't really get a sense here that Atletico are going to have much left in the tank to really push, because they want to. If they want to win this series, Atletico, they're going to need to hit another level.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to lift a bit if they want to win the series. But I think looking at the way this game and this series has played out so far, it looks like the Warriors are having a lot of fun. Noz has played a lot of Tracer, a lot of, Orisa, different heroes. Roro's been mystery heroes as pretty much every week. And, Huss is running around on a Sombra, being cheeky. So, I don't know, it's good. Good signs for the Warriors so far. And if they can keep this level up this season, then they're going to be a menace at MEO.
Certainly is. Maybe their season. Maybe it's the time that we get a third victor in Overwatch Contenders Australia. But maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. It's time for us to take a break. I need some more time to, think of some dumb Roro puns. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes.